All right, apparently this memory card is almost full, so I'm gonna have to talk really fast. But hi, hello, and welcome to this week's video. I'm Courtney, and I'm a part-time artist with a full-time job. And for the next roughly 12-ish weeks, I guess no, 11 now, we're on week 2, I'm working through The Artist's Way. So, that's a thing, that's happening. Last week was, I'm also making coffee right now, you can't see it, but it's down here. So, last week, first week of The Artist's Way, we did the things, we did the morning pages. Then I was reading week 2, and one of the first things it says is basically, like, you're probably saying things to yourself, like, I probably didn't do the morning pages right, even though I did them every day, and like a bunch of negative self-talk, and I'm like, yep, I've been called out. So this week's theme is recovering a sense of identity. Okay. I don't know, I feel like I have a decent sense of identity, but I don't know. Maybe not as an artist. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. At any rate, we're gonna run out of memory space, so I will update this later. Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. We're having a Monday. Hello. So one of the things this week, or this chapter, both, talks about are crazy makers. And so the things that like take time away from your creative process. And I don't have a lot of things that she talked about in there, but like the main thing that takes away time is like work. And as a part-time artist with a full-time job, I still have to do the full-time job because otherwise I can't afford to like pay rent, feed myself, anything like that. So I couldn't really get behind some of those things just because they weren't super applicable to my life. I'm pretty good about protecting my time from other people. I'm not so good about protecting it from myself. So I might be my own crazy maker. That could be a thing. So I'm gonna try to like watch this week for any of those things that come up. However, this week I have a conference trip for work. So I will be flying out on Wednesday, and then I will be doing conference work things like all day. It is like 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Like I have breakfasts I have to go to, I have dinners I have to go to, I have to meet with people and do a lot of like socializing but still work activities. Like there's nothing I can do about that. Like I can't just tell my boss like, hey, I need to go like take some creative time out. No, that's not what I'm being paid for. I'm on a work trip doing work things. So yeah, it's like planning around those things, especially when you have a schedule that isn't like 9 to 5, which is not going to be the case for me at all this week. So that will be interesting to navigate. We're gonna try. I'm trying to like take these principles and apply them where I can to my life as a part-time artist. So with that, one of the things I did like that she talked about in this chapter was don't put so much time pressure on yourself. If you can do like 2 hours, do 15 minutes. If you can just like go outside for a walk and that's the 10 minutes that you have, that's great. So I do appreciate that because that's really much more sustainable for my life, is like finding those 10, 15 minute blocks where I can, but being really mindful and intentional about those. So I'm gonna try to go forward this week with that mindset, but also trying to be proactive in protecting my time where I can, where it's reasonable with like life expectations. So in other news, like I said, it's Monday. It is Eclipse Monday. So we're in Vermont, and our tiny little state of 600,000 people has apparently gotten like roughly 300,000 extra people today because of the eclipse, because everyone wants to come and see it. Like, I don't care that much. I am gonna try to go outside and like get some photos of the shadows, maybe take a couple of pictures of the difference between like regular daytime and like 5 minutes later when like the moon passes over the sun. But I'm not that excited about it. I'm mostly annoyed because of all the extra people. But I will try to have some footage of the eclipse if I can. And then I may try to get some sketching done. That's the thing that I find really interesting about The Artist's Way is like, so far it's not like encouraging you to like draw, well, to do anything artistic. Let me put it that way. Like, other than the morning pages, if you are a writer, then that's the only thing that gets encouraging you to like use your creativity process. So I guess that's a little bit different than I expected. It's way more focused on like your internal narrative and how you foster your creativity rather than doing things that are creative. So that's super interesting. And that may change as like we progress through the weeks, but I want to find the motivation and the energy to do creative things. So I'll see if I find that later today. But if not, you'll see some eclipse footage, and then I will see you probably tomorrow morning. All right, let's go get a few more things done. Okay, the lighting is not amazing, but we don't have a ton of time right now. So, hi, hello, good morning. It is Wednesday, I hope. And I've done my morning pages, and I am now frantically trying to get everything ready to go on a trip. This is a rough week, but we're still doing the morning pages. I'm still going on my artist date tomorrow. I'm a little bummed because I was looking up the museum I wanted to go to. It's closed, so not going to that museum. A little sad about that, but I'm either going to go to the American Art Museum or the Renwick Gallery. So we'll see. I'm gonna double check their hours tomorrow. That's a tomorrow problem. But I was checking online because I wanted to make sure I knew what I could and couldn't bring if I was going to sketch in the museum. So they only allow dry medium, so like crayon, colored pencil, and pencil. You cannot use pen, you cannot use any type of wet medium, which I get it, it makes sense. So I wanted to make sure I packed what I needed, and I think I'm just gonna either do graphite or the blue Caran d'Ache pencil. So we have the artist date planned. The other thing that I'm trying to figure out is which sketchbook I'm taking. This is my current ugly sketchbook. It's a Strathmore mixed media, and I only have about 7 pages left in it, and I hate this thing. Sorry, Strathmore, I'm sorry. So she does not lay flat. She does not want to lay flat, no matter what you do. I mean, we can get about there, but it is just really a giant pain to try to draw something or sketch something in here, and I'm like constantly being attacked by the other half of the book. So I'm mad at it, I'm not enjoying it, and I feel like the artist's way, like big message, is to do the things that you want to do, not the shoulds. I feel like I should finish the last 7 pages, but I don't want to. So I'm not taking this with me. I'm mad at her. She's staying home. And then my regular one is this. This is the Handbook Speedball Mixed Media. I think we're mixed media. Nope, this is watercolor. The label's right down there because I'm 1 page away from finishing this one. So I have a new one. But the question is, do I want to take the new one, or do I want to take a more experimental sketchbook that I care less about and can play around in? And that's what these 3 are, but I don't know which one I like because I've never used any of these brands before. I'm liking that this is soft cover, so we lay a little bit flatter, much easier. And I can also, like, this is nice for like if I'm standing and sketching. So I think this is what's coming with me. Question is, am I gonna take a good sketchbook too? I don't know, that's the problem. Do you take multiple sketchbooks when you travel? How do you stop yourself from taking multiple sketchbooks? Answer me that. Would love to know. But all right, I'm gonna go make some sketchbook-based decisions. I've gotta run a couple errands. Then we will head to the airport and I will chat with you tonight in the hotel room. Okay, let's go. All right, hello. This is only mildly atrocious lighting. I just got back from Whole Foods because conference food options are okay. They're never, I mean, it's my birthday week, so I'm gonna get things that I want. If there's a Whole Foods in walking distance, I'm going to go there. So, I don't know why, but we're gonna do a little bit of a Whole Foods food haul. I got these very fancy strawberries. I don't know why. I felt like it. And I'm excited. And then we got our trusted granola bars because if I don't feel like going to the 8 a.m. breakfast and I'd rather go to the gym, we have a breakfast option. And then we have multiple chocolate bar options because... Do I have to explain that? No, I don't. And then we have a trusty cold brew because A, this is cheaper than Starbucks, and B, it's also better. So, we have some cold brew options. And then we got some apples because conference snack time, the apples are always like Red Delicious. Like, it's never a good apple. And that's an easy mid-afternoon pick-me-up snack when I've been sitting for 12 straight hours and I'm tired and need to like stay awake. So I'm gonna be the annoying person in the conference eating an apple. Not sorry. But at any rate, we've made it to DC. We had dinner. I've run into 2 friends already. One of them I had dinner with. At this point, I am going to sit down, check some emails, do some editing, and go to bed early because I need to get up, do my morning pages, do some conference things, and tomorrow I'm gonna do my artist date. So, I'm gonna go do the things, and I will catch up with you tomorrow morning. All right, are we sitting in the window? Yes. Is that probably a terrible idea with the echo and the traffic? Also, yes. But that's where we're at this point. It is Thursday morning and I've just finished my morning pages. I'm getting ready to head down to the conference to grab breakfast and coffee and then head to a couple of sessions before I go out on my artist date a little bit later today. I wanted to chat a little bit about this week. We're in week 2. This week, the topic is recovering a sense of identity. Like I said, I think earlier this week, I feel like I have a sense of identity, but then when I was like reading the chapter, she really goes more into like protecting your time, yourself, your space, your creative process. So I don't know, I found the actual content of the chapter not as much about identity as just like protecting. So one of the quotes that I really liked was, creativity flourishes when we have a sense of safety and self-acceptance. And I really agree with that. If you don't feel confident in what you're doing, you're not going to be motivated to do it. I can say that from experience. And also like safety. So feeling like you can take the time to do this, you have support from other people around you. That just really, really resonated with me. And then another quote that I really liked that kind of was a personal attack says that we want to set aside time for our creative work, but we feel we should do something else instead. As Block creatives, we focus not on our responsibilities to ourselves, but our responsibilities to others. We tend to think such behavior makes us good people. It doesn't. It makes us frustrated people. And I mean, she's not wrong. However, I do still have a job. That's the whole part-time artist with a full-time job dilemma. So I'm kind of struggling with that. So I guess there's two identities there. So let me know if you're in the same boat, if you're a part-time artist as well. How do you find balance with the full-time job? Or even if you're not a part-time artist, if you're a part-time anything, how do you find that balance, or even just between your like work and hobbies? So speaking of which, I do have a lot of responsibilities that I need to attend to today. I'm going to try to find a balance between doing all of those things and doing the creative, well-filling things that I want to do. And one last thing that I'll leave you with is, I'm not directly quoting, but the general concept in the paragraph was that attention is critical because attention equals healing. So if we're trying to heal our creative process, our creative selves, if we're not giving it any attention, if we're not spending the time on those things that like fill us up, then we're never gonna fix or heal that part. It's not just gonna happen passively. So finding that balance, trying to create some time and space for the work things, and then also the creative things is what I'm getting out of this second week. So with that, I'm gonna go head down, do the conference things, and then later today, head out and do a little bit of an artist date. So I'll take you along with me for what I can. See you in a little bit.
The fact that you can set up in the museum.
Okay, hi, hello. We're back after a very long day of conferencing and then running around and doing my artist date. I'm sorry if you can hear the air conditioner in the background. It is in fact the world's loudest air conditioner. As you just saw in some of the clips that I just had in here, I went over to the National Gallery of Art and I had just kind of started wandering through the collections. Like I said earlier in this vlog, you can only bring pencil in. And I'm walking through the museum and there is this woman painting with like a full-on, she had her little drop mat and like easel and like paint. And she was copying a masterwork. And I was like, wait, what is happening? So I walked up to her and interrupted her work. And I was like, how are you doing this? How is this, what's happening? Can you tell me what's happening? So her name is Amy Mann, and she was so sweet. Her information is linked below. She actually has a blog about what she does. So she is part of the National Gallery's copyist program. I had no idea this was a thing. There is a copyist program. So if you're an artist, you can apply to this program and you agree to all their guidelines and rules. So you get to select a masterwork that's going to be the one you focus on, and then you get assigned a day of the week that you can go in and bring all your paintings set up and work on copying. That is so cool. So it helps you build your skills, it helps you learn from the masters, it helps you learn technique. Like, that's such an incredible tool. I had no idea that this existed. So then I was talking to her about the library of art books in Japan that like blew my mind. And she's like, you know, we have one of those here. I was like, I'm sorry, what? So she told me that the National Gallery of Art does actually have a library. And so she told me where it was, and I immediately made a beeline for it. I was like, that's what we're doing today. That's the plan. Instead of wandering around and finding painting that I'm not really meh about, going to a library. Nothing makes me happier than a library. So I walked over there, talked to the people at the front desk to know like what I could and couldn't do, how the library worked, if I could come in and like sit down with a book and sketch at the last minute. So it is useful to go to their website beforehand and make an appointment so you can access the books that you want to access, because you're not allowed to go into the stacks. They have a main room with reference books that you can access, but most of the books are in the stacks and the librarian has to pull those for you. So if they are not busy, they might be able to do it on the fly, which middle of the week, afternoon, they were not busy. So I talked to the very, very nice man at the circulation desk, and he was happy to go grab me a book. He's like, pull one up on the computer, let me know the call number, I'll go grab it for you. Because I told him I like really only have 30 minutes. He was so sweet. So I will have the National Gallery of Art Library information listed below. Definitely check it out. If you're ever gonna be in DC, highly recommend making an appointment and grabbing a couple books and sitting down and sketching, because it's such a cool experience. Made my day. Fantastic artist date. Having a blast. I really just want to go sketch more and more and more things, but still doing the work trip for the most part. Right now it's almost 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna go out to dinner with some friends, and then I'm gonna probably head to bed early. Let's go grab some dinner, and I will probably see you again after morning pages tomorrow. All right, okay, bye. Hello, we made it to Friday afternoon. So I did my morning pages. I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't have time, but we've made it. We did the presentation. I saw my friend's presentation. I saw my friend get an award. It was a great day. In a few minutes, my best friend is going to arrive in DC. She's coming up for the night, and we're gonna go out on the town a little bit. It is also my birthday today. Not when you're watching this, but like right now, today. So I'm gonna do a little birthday shopping. We're gonna do a little bit of a art supply haul, because there is a Blick store within like 3 blocks of where I am right now. Pretty excited about that. And then I also have a gift card from one of my friends to Kramer's bookshop in DC, which is one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go hit that up. But this morning when I did my morning pages, I did one of the assignments, which was to write down 20 things that you enjoy doing. That was harder than I thought it would be. Like, have you done that? Can you list 20 things that you enjoy doing? I'm struggling to come up with all 20. Like, I don't have a list yet of 20. I think I have like 15. And even some of those are like, eh? Like, there are things that I enjoy doing, but not all the time. Like, I have to be in the mood. Like quilting. I enjoy quilting, but sometimes I'm just like, not right now. Same thing with like spinning yarn. I enjoy it, but not at this moment. So that's really hard for me to figure out what to put on that list. But I'm trying to use that list to do the things that I want to do for my birthday. Because I'm kind of like, well, my friend's coming all the way to DC. What does she want to do? Where do you want to go for dinner? It's hard for me to be selfish and be like, it's my birthday, but I'm trying. So I'm gonna make her go to the art store with me, even though she's not an artist. But I will take you along with me for our art supply shopping and to the bookstore, and I will catch back up with you probably tomorrow before we head out of DC back down to her house. All right, I'm gonna go get changed and meet her in the lobby, and then we're gonna head out. All right, so that is terrible lighting. We're just gonna have to go with it. But that brings us to the end of week 2. I'm gonna share my book haul in a later video with you. This week focused on recovering a sense of identity. Still don't know how that is going to come into play, but I definitely feel like the protecting my time part is really important. And I really had a fantastic time on the artist date this week, and I got to enjoy some birthday things and be a little bit selfish where I could. So overall, not a bad week 2. I'm hoping to find more time for my creative practice as we move forward into the next couple of weeks. So let me know how it's going for you if you're following along with me, or if you've done it before, let me know how week 2 went. When did you find like your groove with the whole thing? Because I'm still kind of waiting on it to feel like something's happening, maybe, I don't know. All right, well, I hope you're having a great week wherever you're at, and I will see you in the next one. I'm making coffee right now. You can't see it, but it's down here. We're making the coffee. I'm gonna cut this sound out because the AeroPress is not the most aesthetic sound. This is not ASMR. I'm really wasting my 2 minutes I have of recording time right now. But at any rate, okay, we have coffee. It's coffee, I swear. This week's theme is probably find a new memory card, Courtney. And she has a blog, so I will have her information. So I have about 10 or 15 minutes before my best friend gets here.